Oh, we got some people in here already. Looks like Deanna. First, Bob Pita. Number 2, West Virginia Pappy. Good morning, you are deterred. We got Brian Smith, Dog and Ball Productions, Window Liquor, Eagle Lover, and Hicktown Honey, Tefel Beecher. Looks like you guys are here. All right, guys, let's see. First things first, thanks for showing up. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. I know it's an early ask, but at least I asked. It looks like there's 10 of you here, or 12 of you here, but there are 10 thumbs up. And that's actually pretty good morning. Alan, you showed up. Good to see you, man. Miss Melody, good morning, young lady. Nice to see you. Okay, so as the thumbnail talks about, Black Swan event. What's up, Nick? If I miss you guys in the chat saying good morning, Loretta, good morning. It's because the chat, the text in YouTube is very small. I wish there was a way to make it bigger, but YouTube has not figured out a way to make things easier for people just yet when they use their phones. But Black Swan event. So 2 days ago, or actually over the weekend, there was it was either a CBS or an MSNBC affiliate that actually said that they were scared that a Black Swan event might start. Hey, Star, good to see you. Which is kind of funny. Which is kind of funny because a lot of people, when they talk about a Black Swan event, it's like, ooh, this scary thing, it's going to get us. We're not going to know what's going to happen. Let's see here. So what exactly is a Black Swan event? That's the first thing that we have to define. Good morning, Deborah. It's defined as an unpredictable and unforeseen event, typically one with extreme consequences. Okay, so if you tear apart that actual definition, let me go and lock these doors. It's unpredictable, and that's bonk, because we've been predicting these problems for quite some time. I would say at least 3 years we've been predicting these problems. Unforeseen. Anything that happens at this point in time, as we spoke before about being throat punched from 12 different directions, this is not unforeseen. We've been watching the tides change for about 3 years. There's nothing unforeseen about an event that may happen that has extreme consequences. There's just nothing that should be surprising the prepper community. They literally should be ready for anything other than an asteroid hitting the planet, the moon colliding with another us, or a tsunami that takes out New York City. Those are the kind of things that you cannot do anything. Those are true Black Swan events. Everything else we should know about, and we should know about it because we've been watching it happen over and over and over and over, and that's one of the reasons that we actually cover these topics during the live streams. Now, Black Swan events are only Black Swan events for people that are not expecting problems, that don't see the problems. They don't see connect the dots. They don't see the writing on the wall. And that means that we're basically the 10% that, living in 1984. Hey, good to see you, bro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. YouTube loves to turn that junk off. Let's see. So basically, the people in the preparedness community, they are basically the 10%. I think that's a pretty valid number because, if they talk about, 9 out of 10 people being killed during a grid down situation or dying during a grid down situation. That's 10%. So I would like to think that we have at least 10% of the population that will survive. So in this math problem that I'm creating in my own little brain, we are the 10%, which, extreme consequences, the event will have extreme consequences for 9 out of 10 people. What's up, Kimmer? And if we're the 10%, we all know what the answer to this little question is, and it's in their playbook. You just have to read it. That's right. I've got my notes. I came equipped today. I was prepared today, guys. I actually screwed up my entire schedule for the morning, but I am here, and you still have 24 minutes. So we're gonna go through some of the stuff. So let me lay this down for you guys, and I might actually make a video about this later. There are certain elements that are necessary to control the world. Catitude. Good morning, young lady. there are certain elements, the things that have to happen in order for you to control the world. And I'm going to go over them very quickly, but then I'm going to focus on one particularly, because that is the focus of the point of control in the masses. Okay. So 1, establish reserve bank services that serve your interests only, begin to keep personal, corporate, and government debts high and growing. Cha-ching! That's happening. Number 2, psyops to control the public media narratives, producing comatose and uninformed populaces. Control the media. Cha-ching! 3, strategic, unseen hand, secret society control of the main state functions of each superpower: executives, representatives, Supreme Courts, intelligence, military, technocracy. Okay, those things are happening. Number 4, ideological control of education. We're fighting back, but that has still happened and is still happening. 5, destroy the family unit as the basis of society, making individuals powerless to resist the necessary changes an authoritarian power of your deep state would have. Oh boy. Bradley, good morning. Start a large scale, or number 6, start a large scale war to mask the final moves as necessary for survival. World government is established. Use the EU as an example. It's a perfect example. Grumpy Acres, good morning to you. I'm going to come back and read that chat here as soon as I finish with these. Titan, where are we at here? Crash the economy of the world into deep recession. Blame the war. Castricize world banking. Number 8, tighten control over all citizenry using the power of the Internet of Things. Sound familiar? Number 9, now you have it all. Now you can begin regularly purging dissenters from the world via diabolical genocidal means. Interesting. Oh, what did Grumpy Acres say here? Gosh, Local Prepper is making sound like this has all been planned. He's one of those crazy conspiracy theorists. Hey, did Tefel show up? Let's see here. But no, there's no craziness to this. It's all on the internet. It can't be crazy. It's got to be true, right? All right, so we're going to focus on number 2 today, because in my opinion, this is the one chess piece that they're having a real problem with, and it's one of the easiest ways for us to fight back. And that is PSYOP to control the public media narratives, producing comatose or uninformed populaces, aka control the media. It's the strongest point. It's the one little piece. It's that one little piece on the board that they can't seem to get control of, that they really, really need. All right, so we're going to go into some of the highlights of what's been going on lately to get your brain in the right place. Please stay focused on that. Control of all media. Do me a favor, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe or that thumbs up button, do it now for me, please. It does help the channel. I see there's 33 of you in here and only 16 thumbs up. Yes, I expect you to participate. That's the way of life. Life is a participation sport, guys. Life is a participation sport. Okay, so this one is titled Google's New Patent. You're going to love this. Using machine learning to identify misinformation on social media. Google has filed an application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for a tool that would use machine learning or ML, a subset of AI, to detect what Google decides to consider as misinformation on social media. Google already uses elements of AI in its algorithms programmed to automate censorship. Automate censorship? Say it isn't so. On its massive platforms. And this... I wish this thing would go away. And this document indicates one specific path the company intends to take going forward. Google already out here. The patent's general use is to identify information operations, and then the system is supposed to predict. Ooh, is that like, that sounds almost like pre-crime. If there is misinformation in there. They're predicting the future, you know, they're predicting keystrokes now. Judging by the explanation Google attached to the filing, It, at first looks like blames its own existence for proliferation or misinformation. The text states that information operations campaigns are cheap and widely used because it is easy to make their messaging viral, thanks to amplification incentivized by social media platforms. And that one was in quotes. But it seems that Google has developed the tool with other platforms in mind. The tech giant specifically states that others, mentioning X, Facebook, and LinkedIn by name in the filing, could make the system train their own different prediction models. So basically, they're trying to sell AI to other companies to use to predict what's happening on their platform. Machine learning itself depends on algorithms being fed a large amount of data, and there are two types of it, supervised and unsupervised, where the later works by providing an algorithm with huge databases, such as images, or in this case, language, and asking it to learn to identify what it is looking at. The ultimate goal here would highly likely be for Google to make its misinformation detection, i.e. censorship, more efficient while targeting a specific type of data. The patent indeed states that it uses neural network language models, where neural networks represent the infrastructure of machine learning. Google's tool will classify data as information operations or benign, and further aims to label it as coming from an individual, an organization, or a country. And then the model predicts the likelihood that the content being a disinformation campaign by assigning it a score. So we're all going to get scores, guys. Google's giving everybody a score. They want everybody to have a number next to their name so that they can be identified. Yeah, that's super awesome. That's super awesome. And if that doesn't scare the shit out of you, do me a favor. Type 1 in the comments. If it does scare the shit out of you, type 2 in the comments. Do something. Let's get the chat going. We got 17 minutes left to go, and I got a pile of paper here. Let's see here. Grumpy Acre says, there's a lot. Oh my God, you guys are blowing the chat up. Okay, I'm gonna let it calm down. You guys keep pushing buttons. It helps. You guys keep pushing buttons. I'll scroll back. I don't have a problem with it. Grumpy Acres, once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's what drives people to despair, and it makes it seem inevitable when others refuse to remove the scales from their eyes. Very true, very true. JJ, good to see you, guy. Where are we at here? You guys are all typing numbers. Cool. Dog and ball. Oh, great. Here comes house arrest for me. I know, right? You know, when I left the military, when I left active duty, they constantly talked about being flagged, always being flagged. Flag on a play. Flags are everywhere. Being flagged. When I left the DOD, let's just say I didn't exist on the internet. I'll just say that, okay? Because that's actually a real thing, and it can really happen. And what I chose to put out there is what I chose to put out there. So having a flag next to your name is nothing new for everybody. If you guys didn't know this, there are algorithms out there that are categorizing you and classifying you every single day on every single platform, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And then at a certain point, you get enough check marks next to your name, or your score gets high enough, and then you basically get put on the skyline, and they determine what's going to happen on their platform because it's their business. And you hear about these guys that are I've been shadow banned before. Okay, it's not a badge of honor. It's a pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? I've literally written letters to major platforms saying, would you please stop this, and sending them pictures proving that they're shadow banning me. And then sometimes they turn it back on, and sometimes they just ignore you. Most of the time they just ignore you. But everybody is getting categorized right now. Super Turd arrived. Andy, there you go. What's going on here? But a credit score is sort of like, right? I mean, financially, yeah. I mean, there's lots of companies that use your credit score to decide how they're going to treat you, decide your level of benefit. You know what I'm saying? If you've got a high credit score, then you're going to get a low interest rate on a loan. If you got a high credit score, you're going to be offered things that other people aren't going to be offered. It's just math. That's really literally all it is. Your credit score is actually factored in how much car insurance you pay. You could have a spotless driving record and a crappy credit score, and guess what? you're gonna pay more for car insurance. You know. Let's see here. When you make all the lists, I know, right? That moment you know you've made all the lists. Let's see here. What do we got here? Timoteo, good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, let's see here. We got Beecher saying stuff. All right, looks like you guys are at 10. Good morning, Gibsby. Good to see you, young lady. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll into the next one. We've got 14 minutes and 2 seconds left. That's right. When I'm on the road, I've got to time these guys. I've got to keep them within a specific window. This one is actually a win. This one's actually a win for us. Rumble, which if you guys didn't know, I actually transmit on Rumble normally when I'm not on the road. Rumble turns off access to Brazil. Guess what? Rumble flipped the Brazil switch. It went bloop, you're off. As it challenges the government's censorship demands. Rumble, the popular free speech video platform, is blocking access to its services in Brazil. Rather than ban specific creators on its platform, the decision follows a contentious legal dispute with Brazilian authorities over content censorship demands. According to a statement released by Rumble, the Brazilian court had issued an order demanding the removal of certain creators from the platform. In response, Rumble emphasized its commitment to maintaining a free and open internet, stating that it refuses to alter its content policies and discriminate against users based on their views, regardless of popularity. Quote, users with unpopular videos are free to access our platform on the same terms as our millions of other users, the statement from Rumble asserted. The company highlighted its dedication to not, quote, move the goalposts on its established content policies, standing firm against external pressures to censor creators. Quote, Rumble is the only company at our scale that holds the line for free speech and American values. Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovsky posted on X. It is my wish that one day big tech joins us in the fight and responds like we do. Someone's car alarm's going off. Let's see here. That's the day everyone wins. I will continue to lead by example until the day arrives. As a result of this impasse, Rumble has chosen to disable access to its platforms for users in Brazil, similar to the situation with France. This measure is part of the company's strategy to legally challenge the demands of Brazilian courts. While Rumble expressed disappointment over the impact the decision has on Brazilian users, who now lose access to a diverse array of content unless they use a VPN, hint, hint, to access the platform. The company remains resolute in its stance. So one win for freedom of speech worldwide. It's actually pretty good. It's good to see Rumble is not going to cave. If you guys remember when Rumble first came out, they really got attacked. I mean, they were getting DDoS attacked. They still are. They're still getting cyber attacks all the time. What was it last week? They got a DDoS attack that basically, it didn't take them offline, but you got a lot of error 404s, that kind of crap. There was a lot of problems with it. But it's good to see that there's actually a win for the good guys. Late, but here, let's see. We should create our own lists. Yeah, let's see how that goes over. Let's see. Hicktown Honey says, "Oh, I've got a list of banned people in my life, possibly, mostly politicians and news networks." Absolutely. All right, so we're at 10 minutes and 32 seconds. Time to take a sip of coffee. While you guys are doing that, do me a favor, type the number 5 in the chat for me real quick. Wake things up. And I shall continue telling you how they're going to do all this stuff. You're going to love this one right here. Irish leader Leo Varadkar claims, quote, he believes in free speech, then demands censorship laws. The Irish leader is speaking out of both sides of his mouth. I'm just going to call him Irish. No. We're going to call him Leo because he's just got this really stupid long name. Leo has proclaimed his belief in the sanctity of free speech while simultaneously advocating for limitations and standards in its expression. This call comes as he urges a more stringent censorship approach on X. So he's being attacked. By the way, I have an entire article here on like a 3-pager on illicit content on Elon Musk's X draws EU investigation. The European Union is investigating X. They're basically like, it's like a criminal investigation. It's so they have unbelievable laws over there. But he's got the money to fight it. He will likely win, and if he does lose, he'll be like, okay, good to go. Flip the switch, turn that shit off. There's enough dummies in America that just love X. So, all right. So let's see. Leo is his name. Leo, with a tone of absolute determination, has vowed to significantly shift the digital landscape, particularly on X, which he describes as a sewer in the realm of social media. His critique centers on what he perceives as the platform's inadequate management of alleged harmful content. The stance emerges amidst a broader government census. Several ministers have conveyed to the Sunday Times their intention to empower the I don't know what that is. The online watchdog. So they're going to empower some online watchdog that has no authority. They're going to give somebody some kind of authority that doesn't actually have or need the authority. Otherwise, they would have it already. With robust capabilities to combat misinformation starting in 2024. Quote, despite what other people may say, I'm actually somebody who believes in free speech, but there have to be limitations and standards. I don't believe that Twitter or X implements its own community standards. Other social media platforms do, and I think if you're not even able to live up to your own standards, it doesn't reflect very well on an organization. The government doesn't have a role. The government does have a role to play, Leo added. We said very clearly a year or two ago. He doesn't even know when this act was a year or it's a year or two ago, and he's a politician. We said very, very clearly a year or two ago that the era of self-regulation was over. You don't get to decide that, moron. We have laws and they're we have laws and they're European laws because that law is somehow over regular laws. Where was I? We have an online safety commissioner now, and we have Commission Namun. I don't even know. I can't even say it. And I think things are going to change. You think they are, huh? Okay. In a scenario where compliance falters with the censorship demands, X and similar platforms could find themselves grappling with punitive fines and a staggering 20 million euro or $22 million or 10% of their annual revenue. This is aligned with the new safety codes that's set to be unveiled by the online media regular in February. Leo targeted the platform's post-Musk ownership period, condemning its alleged failure to adhere to its own community standards. He asserted Twitter, as it used to be called, has always been a bit of a sewer as far as social media goes. Despite what other people may say, I'm actually somebody who believes in free speech, but he said this like 20 times. It's like, shut up. All right, what do we got here? Let me go ahead and check the chat. We got 6 minutes left. Yeah, my Spanish is worse than my English because I'm sure I spelled 5. Cinco, how's the Bradley? Hey, what's up? There we are. Leaders all over the world have lost their minds. Absolutely true. Tamateo says, very much a rules for thee, but not for me type of situation. What a leotard. New laws or new bills? True Speak Dad, good to see you, bro. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and knock this next one out. I'm going to try and I've got 5 minutes left here. I'm trying to figure out, let's see here, the dangers. Well, I'm going to paraphrase on these last 3 right here. This title is UK Police to Use Driver's License Database for Facial Recognition. Well, this is going to hurt. The British government is discreetly advancing new legislation that would give police power to utilize facial recognition technology on the UK's national database for 50 million driving license images, despite the use of this technology not be on the cards when images are collected. So they're literally going to take everybody's picture and give it a name, like their name. It's on a driver's license, so they've already got a number assigned. and they're going to use it for facial recognition. Tell me that's not some 1984 overlord shit right there. That was very simple. If this change is enacted, autonomy on CCTV footage could become obsolete. If you guys don't know anything about the UK or Great Britain in general, they have cameras freaking everywhere. It is the most surveillance-oriented state in the world. It's crazy how many cameras there are. I mean, I should have invested in cameras like 20 years ago because I'd be a billionaire by now just selling cameras to these people. So literally, if this change is enacted, autonomy on CCTV footage could become obsolete. Literally doing what the Chinese are doing already. The Chinese have already done this, guys. They've absolutely already done this. What do we got here? 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Oregon lawmaker sues to halt misinformation contracts against election-related speech. Oh, this one's funny. A legal battle is currently unfolding in the state of Oregon as local legislators, along with other parties such as radio show hosts and Republican Party representatives, are using government officials in an attempt to prevent them from intervening in what is referred to as false election information. Confusing. The lawsuit, which represents a bold stand against censorship, was launched against Democrat Governor Tina Kotek, Secretary of State Von Griffin, too many last names. I mean, come on. And Election Director Molly Woon. Man, we got a problem here because I'm wondering if this is like 3 chicks that are just pissed off. We obtained a copy of the injunction. The lawsuit's central accusation is that the state is effectively intending to mute any critique or disapproval of its electoral process under the guise of mitigating unfound election-related claims. They want us to shut up. The plaintiffs previously attempted a peaceful resolution over a phone call, but to no avail, leading to them seeking an urgent court injunction. The dispute revolves around an initiative titled Erection False. There you go. Election False Information Solution. It's the Election False Information Solution. They're solving our problems for us, guys. My God. Put forth by one of the crazy broads, an unofficial proposal meant to counter disinformation despite a deadline of October 27th. The project has yet to be implemented. The plaintiffs argue that Oregon's intimidation tactics, which include imposing a $10,000 fine on anyone spreading false election information, were signed into law in 2021. According to the official documents, these punitive measures are put in place against those making false statements regarding various electoral matters. Bob caught me. Oops. Time to grow a beard and get fat. Who you calling fat? Okay. Let's see here. Do me a favor, guys. Type the number 7 in the chat if you want me to read this last one. And you know you do. I only have a minute left, so I'm going to paraphrase. So just start typing the number 7. All right. The World Economic Forum links misinformation to cybersecurity issues and calls for more action. According to a recent study by the WEF and allied organizations, cybersecurity concerns are taking on dimensions. Misinformation and disinformation disseminated via the internet are now being framed as key challenges to ensuring cybersecurity. The troubling report was launched on December 5th and designated as Cybersecurity Futures 2030 New Foundations. It's like a bad Star Trek title. The study postulates the future of cybersecurity lies rather in safeguarding the integrity of the source of the data. This introduces a novel perspective on the significance of locating and quashing fabricated information, cynically tagged as mis or disinformation, held in the cybersecurity domain. Oh, guys, they're doing everything in their power to shut us up. My alarm's about to go off. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that for right now. They're doing everything in their power to shut the people up who have a differing opinion on things. They don't want you to know any possible other information other than what they feed you, like sheep, like cattle. That's what they want. So that they can keep this whole you voted them in thing going on, so that it's within the prepping community, it's all a joke at this time. Major Ken, you are so late, it's not even funny. I'm literally getting ready to sign out, you slacker. Anyway, what's going to happen? No one actually knows. No one actually knows. And the reason they don't know is because they keep pulling at every single straw to try and shut people up. And that's the number 2 thing, guys. Let me do a little revision for you. The number 2 thing, PSYOP, to control the public media narratives, producing comatose and uninformed populaces. Control all media. Here's what happens. When they can feed you whatever they want to feed you, at some point, regardless of your political opinion or your world ideology, you'll get tired of eating slop and you'll turn it off. Your information will come from your friend with a statement of, hey, have you heard? Hey, did you see? And that's when it's all over with. So keep doing what you're doing. I don't eat junk food. Not what I heard, Eagle. Not what I heard. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. I got to go. So do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I'm going to give it a few seconds to do what it's going to do, and then I'm going to turn it off because I really got to go. All right, pushing buttons now. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.